When people talk about The Last Jedi, one of the common things they bring up is the sets and how they sold poorly. Or rather, the merchandise that sold poorly. But in this video, we'll simply focus on the sets. Many would have you believe that it's because the movie was really, really bad. But regardless of the movie's quality, I think there are different aspects of these sets which made them fail, and that the movie's quality really didn't have much, if anything, to do with it. Look at this set, for example. Do you remember that from the movie? You don't? Well, there's a simple reason for that. You see, LEGO bases their sets off of concept art in order to release it alongside the movie. Because, like, releasing them after the movie, you know, played and, all the hype died for it. Like, it doesn't make sense to release the sets then. They have to do it significantly earlier. So they base it off of concept art, or what they have at the time, because making these sets takes a very, very long time. And thus we end up with things like this, which weren't in the movie. So even if the person saw the movie or liked it, they won't buy this because, well, why would they? It wasn't in the movie. Look at this set, for example. This wasn't the movie, but it was a very, bad scene. Like, it wasn't a key moment in the movie. It was a random, goofy moment, which, like, there was no reason to make a set for. This was, again, a case of them not knowing what was gonna be in the movie and just basing it off of concept art or something. But it just became a meme that this set exists. Like, people did not believe that this was a real set. But okay, we've seen sets that weren't from the movie. We've seen sets about things that weren't important in the movie. How about sets that, well, were based off of things in the movies that were, very important, played a significant role in the movie? Well, look at this, for example. This bomber. Who would actually want this? Like, really, I do not like this set. These sets from The Last Jedi, in general, just look like gray blobs. I think this has more to do with the ship design from The Last Jedi, but these sets just did not look interesting. You have to keep in mind that LEGO's primary demographic are kids. Kids are gonna be the ones that buy these sets primarily, although there are gonna be, adults that buy them whether to review them, display them, or whatever. But the main demographic is kids. Now, some of you might be saying, well, what about the TIE Fighter? That's a pretty new set, and yet people have bought it. Like, people buy the TIE Fighters, and they're gray, they're not very colorful. Why are they getting bought, but the Last Jedi sets aren't? Well, simply put, the TIE Fighter is an iconic vehicle. It's been in Star Wars since the very beginning. I think everyone's heard of it. So, yeah, it's a very popular vehicle. So, of course, it's gonna be made into a set, and of course, it's gonna sell really, really well. But things like the bomber just aren't iconic. They're not recognizable as ships from Star Wars, and thus they aren't gonna sell as well. So yeah, the sets were either not based off of the movie or based off of very, very minor parts of the movie. And even when they weren't interesting. They didn't grab anyone's attention, certainly not the kids' attention. So was that it? Were those the reasons why The Last Jedi sets failed? Well, no. I feel like there's one last and very, very important reason why they failed. Look at this ship. It's a very, very tiny ship. And it comes with just 2 minifigures. Can you guess how much it costs? Was it $20 perhaps? No. It's $30. You know what you can get for $20? This set for just $10 less, like an entire $10 less. Like you pay less to get this. Look at it. It's much bigger. It comes with twice the amount of minifigures and it has so many awesome play features. It's really posable. The color scheme is amazing. Like the design is just beautiful. And I look at it. Like it's so awesome. I'm not sure if I need to even explain why this one is so much better. Like there's so much value in this one. It's infinitely better and it's $10 cheaper. Like, what incentive do you have to buy the Last Jedi set when you have this? Like, unless you don't have access to this set, like there would be no reason not to buy this instead of the Last Jedi set. Look at that. Look at this Gorilla Walker, for example. It costs $140. Then look at this set, for example. How much would you say this costs? I mean, like, just look at how much stuff we get. Like, we get two of these gargoyle things. We get the main villain of the Ninjago movie, and Ninjago in general, and all of the ninja. That the minifigure selection on this one is amazing, and not to even mention the temple. Like, look at it. It's so massive and detailed, and like it's just beautiful. And just I mean, look at all the interior, all the references to Ninjago, all the play features, all the like. It's so good. Like it's amazing. And for $40 less. Like that is just unbelievable. Like these prices, like the prices of these Ninjago sets, like they could not be beat. Like, Jesus. So, in conclusion, the Last Jedi sets sold poorly because they were either not based off of things in the movie, based off of very minor aspects of the movie, generally undesirable. mm, They weren't eye catching, they didn't really appeal to kids, and they had way too much competition that was infinitely better than what, whatever they could make. Like anything. Like especially from the Ninjago movie, it was so much better set wise and price wise. And there was really no incentive to buy.